Hi everyone, it's me, and I'm back with another Ocarina video! I remember from my Ocarina Q&A that a lot of you were interested to see what my process is of learning a new song by ear. So what I've done is I broke down my process, and the other footage that you'll be seeing is me actually showing you how I do it, but I made some points to actually make it clear for you. Maybe you can take snippets of it for your learning. So let's just jump straight into it. One song I've been wanting to learn, actually, is Mario's theme. So the classic. Let's give it a crack and see how I learn a new song. Let's get into it. Alright, the first thing that's important when you learn by ear, and this is gonna sound obvious, but seriously, it is that you actually know the song well. Okay? This is gonna sound super obvious, like, oh, you don't say, you need to know the song. Oh, believe me, I've made that mistake where I'm like trying to jump into a song that I actually don't even memorize that well. If you don't memorize the song well, it's a very big waste of time to be trying to learn the song in the first place. So my recommendation is start learning songs that you actually already know by heart. Or if you're interested in learning a song, listen to it in the train. Listen to it often, and then when you actually know the song, then start learning the song. You don't want to be sitting in your practice studying the song while practicing it. Get that out of the way first before you even, start attempting learning the song. That's my first tip. Okay, second is figure out what key it's in. So figuring out what key you're going to play it in is very crucial. There's actually only two things that can happen. One is the key that you're in, or the true key is not in the range of the ocarina. Okay. Yeah, so that's an E. Okay, so now I can already tell this is gonna be too low to be able to play on this ocarina. No, it's impossible. So you have no choice but to change it to a different key. What can also happen is that the key that it's in is very complicated. Okay, for people that don't know music theory, every key has sharps and flats. Depending on the sharps and flats, you're going to be using, this finger, or you have to use the small holes. I don't want to discourage you from learning sharps and flats, that's not what I'm saying, but I always feel it's very important to strike the balance between learning new stuff and being a purist about it. Of course you want to play things in their true key, but if you're not on that level yet, then I'd say, why not change the key to make it a little bit more playable? Let's try and play it in a higher note, right? Okay, so here we go. No? Ah, here we go. So this is the A. So identifying the key is stage number one. Stage number two is and then so here's also something going on. Da, 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 da. That's it. I need to double check if that's the right tone. Yeah, it's correct. Oh, but wait, sorry. See, I'm getting confused now. So I'm in the wrong key now. So where was I? I think that's correct. That's good. And then? as you're trying to figure out the song, then it's very important to identify what are the struggling points, what are the parts that I'm already good at. It's like with life, you need to prioritize. At the end of the day, it's also about trying not to waste time on things that are not important. With learning of music, it's exactly the same. So identifying your struggling points and focusing on those struggling points. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so here you're seeing I'm trying, always happens to me. I get excited, I'm like, okay, I kind of figured it out now. Let me practice the song. And then I make that mistake where I'm always just going like boing, 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 making the same mistake, going against the wall. And I'm not willing to slow down. And very often, even though I preach this myself, I actually have to catch myself to be like, okay, now you know the separate elements, but now you have to do it slowly. And once you do it slowly and you master that, then you can fasten the speed. But you first have to really slow it down. So this is the moment to do that, okay? So then, very often I catch myself, and then I take segments and I practice them really slowly, and then faster and faster and faster, I will build it up. So let's go. So like this. Okay, I think I got that one down now. Let's go further. This part. So I need to really, really get to the bottom of this part. Yeah. Because this part is tricky, you kind of get nervous during this part, right? So you really need to just get the muscle memory right, because this is a new thing for me. When something is new, when that part is gonna come, your brain actually gets kind of nervous to do it, because you know that it's a part that you're not really familiar with. And actually that gives you kind of stress, with actually makes you make a mistake more easy. So really what you have to do here is face it. Face the fact that this is a hard part for you, and that you need to just kind of pretty much go to the gym. You need to do those reps until it becomes natural. And then, you know, the more you do it, the more it's just one of the tools that you have in your toolkit. So it's like with anything, like with kick-ups, with kickboxing, and any hobby, the same thing. This is a point of that you're not familiar with, that you're not yet good at. So it means you need to do the reps, get better at it until it's a natural thing, and then you also won't get nervous because you know you got it. Okay, so that's what this is. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay, I keep making this mistake. That's it. Okay, so that seemed more difficult than that previous part, right? But because I've had more songs that have this kind of similar thing, this is actually not as tricky for me as that previous one. That was a little bit more tricky because of the flat where I had to use like the half holes. Yeah, so that explains it. So it's more about what you already master and what not, what makes something difficult for you. Okay, so that's something you need to also keep in mind. Okay, so let's see. Okay, rusty, but getting better. Okay, I'm actually feeling we're at 80% now with this part, so I feel like we can move on now. Okay, so this is also new for me. Figure out how to do this one now. It's really like this. You don't just put the pinky finger, you actually also really like hold it. You really hold it this way. I found that this is the best way to do it. And slightly up. You won't get that cracking noise when you do that. Okay, again. Yeah, that actually went easier than I thought. I'm really happy with that. The parts that are easy, you don't have to spend too much time on it. You can already do them. Studying the easy parts is fun because you feel you're good at it, so it makes you feel good playing it. But that's the thing you need to avoid. You need to go to the struggling part. So identify the struggling part, go into the boxing ring, make the reps. Practice, 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 practice. Repeat, 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 repeat. Big, big red note. If you find yourself just making mistake, which is bound to happen, and it happens to me all the time, then tell yourself these two words: slow down. Slow down is always the way to go. And this is the part that can be very frustrating, where you're like, oh my God, I just want to get it. I just want to do it. And that is great. Love your determination, love that you're on fire, that you want to learn this song. I'm saying this to myself too, by the way. But the only way you're gonna get it is by slowing down. In my other video, I said the same thing. If you keep going at something that you don't grasp the concept of yet, you're in no position to be creative with it or fast, dexterous. You're in no position. In a way, you have to humble yourself and say, I cannot do this part, and that's okay. I need to slow down and see every separate note first. Once you got that, then you continue. This is very important. And I've already repeated myself, but I repeat it because it's important. Okay, and then it's pretty much sticking everything together that you've learned. Try to play each part together. Once you do that, again, you can see, are there still some suspicious areas, some sus areas that I need to address? Then again, go into the boxing ring and practice those parts. And then I have another side note on sticking everything together. And this is a huge thing in music as well. It's also about then seeing if the transition goes well from part 1 to part 2. And usually that's also a struggling point because you've been practicing them separately. Then those connecting points, you have to focus on them as well to make that more smooth. And once you've done that, hopefully you can say you've mastered it. Play the song very slowly all together. Again, slow down. And then speed up the process. Go faster, go faster, go faster until it's up to the speed that you want. And then hopefully you've mastered the song. Pretty much that's all I really have to say about this. It's really hard to explain to people how to play by ear. I think there's a lot that comes to play with playing by ear. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's also about persistence, about not giving up, and doing the reps, like I always say. So yeah, hopefully this was useful to you and you could learn something. And if you have any questions regarding Ocarina, or if you have any suggestions or songs you think that I should listen to, then yeah, leave them in the comment section below. I'm always open to new stuff. And yeah, I hope to be seeing you in my next one. Thank you for watching until the end. See you. Bye bye.